Okay guys, what's going on? Random Comic here. So today I got some Crysis 2, and this is one of the first games I got playing it again. I'm actually pretty rusty playing this game, getting used to the little bit of lag that's in this game. It's kind of sad that a game that looks so beautiful and has so much potential with the multiplayer, especially, eye candy sells. I mean, people like games that look good, and people just eat up that. You know what I mean? Like, everybody loves just seeing a beautiful game, and if it runs well, then damn, you have a great game on your hands and a good game that's gonna sell well. And in this case, it almost has all those components, but the multiplayer is just laggy, way too laggy. Like, there'll probably be instances in this game where you'll see when I get in a gunfight, there's just this weird animation and this overall feel that I don't know if you can see very well, but you could definitely feel it when you're playing it. It just feels like you're dancing with a guy, and you don't know who's gonna win the gunfight. It's like a toss-up, and that's very, very disappointing because this game, and it had a nice open beta that allowed anybody to play, and even the open beta was the same thing. So even going from the beta to now, they didn't really change much, and I think it's just because it's on console, and the first Crysis will be coming to console too. So, and that game's even more intense and consuming of a system than Crysis 2 was. And I just hope that games in the future, any of these games like CryEngine is a beautiful engine. It works great, it feels great, but then when you put online, I don't know if it's the servers or what it is. Maybe it shouldn't have been 6v6. Maybe they should have toned it down to 4v4 like Halo or something like that. But then the game would be a little bit slower, and definitely 6v6 on these maps is a good mix. Having 9 people, I don't think anybody's connection could run it unless you have some fucking Sandy Ravage Verizon connection. But for me, even I have some of the best connection in my location, and when I get host, there's this weird lag that's just kind of unbearable at times, because it just becomes more frustrating because you play other games that look great and play great, and they just don't give you that frustration that this game gives you. And I'm not knocking it that bad. I don't want to be too harsh on the game because I do love this game. I believe that if you seriously told me right now, like, of last year or whenever this game came out, like, what's the best multiplayer game, I would say this game, because it's so innovative, I believe, and it just brings a whole different multiplayer experience than we're used to, than just that arcadey run and gun aspect. This one introduces a lot of stuff. It introduces this energy bar that you have that, like, any thing that would be tiring, like jumping or running, will reduce your energy of your suit, and anytime you use the other two abilities, which are being able to go completely stealth, invisible, or go into a armor mode, it's a very, very interesting aspect of the game that just throws a little curveball in there. And the perk layout is like one of the most balanced perk loadouts I've ever seen. They put all the stealth abilities together. They put all the abilities that would be game breaking into the same slot, so you're sacrificing one for the other, which is just amazingly smart and simple. But for some reason, other developers can't get it right, and it's just very disappointing that a game that has so much potential here just doesn't deliver all the way, or to my standards at least. I guess I may be asking too much, but when playing online, the main thing you want is a good experience and a good, you want your bullets to register, you want hit detection there, you want an overall feel of the game to just be there, and I don't think that this game has it. And you can see in the gameplay, I'm actually going on a little tear right here. I think I end up dying relatively soon. I definitely had too long of a welcome in this game. I definitely had to die sooner or later, so I think I just died right there. But it's really good gameplay, I think. I think at the very end, I end up going like 33-3, and that's actually a pretty amazing game. I could probably get that game playing Call of Duty within a handful of games, probably 2 to 3 games. And on here, you could play a whole night and not get that good of a game. So I thought that was very, very cool to get, and on definitely one of the best multiplayer maps ever. This This map is one of the best looking multiplayer maps I've ever seen. It's just ridiculous, and my hat's off to, you know, the guys that made this game, Crytek, and all the other people involved in the game. It's just an amazing looking game overall. This series definitely has a lot going for it. I think they just have to focus more, obviously, on their PC crowd, because games like Battlefield 3 coming out, obviously another EA title, focus heavily on PC, and they're also kind of trying to cater a lot towards console players because that's where the money is. And I can see why, like, they want a successful game, military shooter, to compete with Call of Duty and compete in the same you know, release date. Like, I believe if Crysis 2 released head to head with Call of Duty, I don't know how well it would do, and I don't remember when this was released, but I know it wasn't, you know, head to head with Call of Duty. But it's definitely, you know, if this went head to head with Call of Duty, you would get a lot of people enjoying this game, and just a lot of people having a whole new experience. And that's what kind of saddens me. Like, a lot of these games, like Homefront, this game also, Medal of Honor and stuff like that, it's tough to go head to head with Call of Duty. And I think games like Battlefield 3 and Crysis, and maybe Homefront, I don't know, if Homefront, they would have to fix a lot of things. They would have to make their game look a lot better, and maybe tone down the overall scale. I think that's what would make that game successful. And, like, those are the games that could compete with it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think any other game out there right now has the ability to do that. Like, if you released, not trashing any games, but like Brink was, I had a lot of high expectations myself. I thought it was going to be a great game. I enjoyed the time I had playing it, but very, very quickly that game got very boring and very, very defender heavy. And I'm surprised that games like Battlefield do not have that same feel to it, which I do believe that they do on certain maps. But like on Brink, it was like every map was just super defender heavy. And like if you play Battlefield like Rush, there are some frustrating games where you know that, you know, capturing a bomb, planting that MCOM is going to be a hell of a battle. And sometimes the defense has the advantage, sometimes the offense have the advantage. And I think that's the good balance that has. Like, each side has its opportunity, and when you play that game, you actually play both sides. So other than, like, on Call of Duty, you know, you play one map, you get that shitty spawn, you don't have any, you know, moment to kind of retaliate and, like, get revenge. Like, okay, I got the shit spawn on firing range. Okay, well, it doesn't let you play firing range again. You know what I mean? It doesn't let you, like, choose the opposite side. I think that would be a nice inclusion into like Call of Duty and stuff like that, because I know if I play a map, especially like Modern Warfare 2, there's maps like Corey, trying to name another one off the top of my head, Derail, Wasteland, definitely on certain domination games, the advantage is to one side, and that's just poor, you know, poor making of the developer side of the multiplayer map. And the one, oh yeah, this is the one thing I gotta give Crysis. It's weird because in Crysis, their multiplayer maps don't feel like a multiplayer map. You know what I mean? They're not made for like domination. They're not made for like, okay, you spawn on one side, you spawn on the other, meet in the middle. They're really like, action is everywhere on the map. There's a spot everywhere, like the glass houses, the roof, the helicopter. Those are spots and points of interest that people go to. Other than Call of Duty, it's just like line of sight, there he is, broop, you're dead. And that's the whole game, and people have fun doing that. But in this game, it's like you gotta run around, you gotta find people. The spawns are not very predictable. The only time the spawns are predictable on certain game modes, I forgot which one it is, but it's like kind of like not demolition, but like a headquarters type of game mode. And that one, it's like easy to get kills and predict spawns. But like on TDM, it's like open. It's open world. You don't feel like you're just confined in a map. You feel like you're playing in a real, you know, location and actually running around and getting kills, and just like you feel like you're inside of a location, not just like stuck inside of a square box and you battle it out. You know what I mean? But video's pretty much over, guys. Like, I kind of covered some stuff I didn't really expect to cover, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do love Crysis 2. Like I said, if I had to choose one multiplayer game, this would be it. I love this game. It's one of the best games out there, and I think that you know, if you haven't checked it out, maybe rent it, something like that. I'm not paid by anybody to say that. I just really enjoyed this game, and I support it entirely. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace. I'm out.